if you can see it here. I love that shit. It's giving Henry Taylor, watch out. It's giving he's been quiet for a while. Hello? 25, yeah, 25, but we gonna try to get to 100, yeah. But I'm gonna show you some of my favorites, and then I'll get to the bedroom critique. Hi, happy Friday. I'm Kyndacee. I'm an artist, a painter, and this is another episode of Art Shit, my vlog, but this particular episode is my bedroom critiques. I've only done it once before, so this is the second installment of that, but the last one did really well, and I think what I was doing was basically kind of like critiquing my own art. So that's why I have this mic. It's not a mic, it's a tape measure, but you know, I just want to seem like an expert. I'm even thinking of maybe wearing glasses when I begin to do my critiques. But yeah, I liked last time. I went over what I liked about the piece, and then some things that I could work on, what didn't go well. And then in the comments, people were kind of like doing the same. And I thought that that was amazing, and it worked really well because everyone was being really nice to me. So like, let's keep that up. Let's keep the morale up. I love that. Let's keep going with that. This thing though, I feel like designing a tiny mic that looks like this. And you know, like the tape measures, they already have the built-in thing you hook on your hip. So you just hook it here, but it's for the like, we'll workshop it. So this episode, I'm giving you a sneak peek. This piece I just finished a couple days ago, so I want to go ahead and critique that. But I also want to just like wrap up this year. Like, first of all, I started this vlog this year. I think this is like the 15th episode. So shout out to Consistency, call me Consistent K. Shout out to Art, and shout out to me. So speaking of me, I wanted to first start this off with some really, really good news. I was featured in a publication, a huge one that I am really, really proud of. So I wanted to share that with you. I don't know if you heard of a little, you know, magazine called Juxtapoz, but yeah. So I was featured in that. It just hit the freaking newsstands. Yes, I went to a newsstand. I'll put the video in here, but because it's just major like that. It just hit it maybe like a month ago, less than a month ago. So this is the magazine I'm in. 30 years, that's crazy. Like, it's legit like a staple in the art community. So I wanted to show you my feature and talk about it a little bit because I'm really, really proud of it. I don't need this right now, so when I'm critiquing. So I was really like surprised. I didn't know what, you know, I didn't know if they were just gonna take a piece. Like, basically I got interviewed, but you never know, like, if they're just gonna take that one piece and kind of fit you onto a page with a million other pieces. So I was really surprised to like the first time I seen it, and I literally like went one because I do a walk and I go to Larchmont and they have a newsstand there. And so when it first dropped, I went to the newsstand, but the newsstand didn't have it yet. And he's like, check back in a couple weeks. And I'm like, okay, I'm being thirsty. So the next week I just went on my walk. I was just on my walk, I promise. And then I walked by and I saw the cover and I was like, oh my God. So it was like real time, like seeing it. I had no clue like what it was gonna be like. Look at this title. What do you mean? It's making me crack up. Like, Harris for president. Please don't do that right here. Thank you, sir. Or you can stay, but just because it's like Harris for president of painting. Like, I would have wrote that. Like, just to be clear, of painting. But no, I don't know. I thought it was hilarious, and I thought it was like, no matter how long I have this, it puts it in context of like the times right now, whether like you are happy about the times or sad about the times. It just is like, if you know, you know. Like, I don't know, it was super funny. But On Top of the World with Kyndacee Harris. I'm not gonna be on this long, but it's really good. So this is the interview, but like, wait, there's more. Like, look how much, but I'll be talking, so that's why. And I'm just surprised that they kept it all in there, because it was just so much to put in there. But I just love, like, this is really huge to me. And so I just love, like, she asked me questions about myself and about the work, and it just, I feel like even starting this vlog, it just really gives me an opportunity to like express what I'm doing, articulate what I'm doing. And I just think that's kind of like, I love painting, but in terms of like existing amongst other people, I also love talking about painting and talking about art and the things that I'm thinking about and like why I'm doing what I'm doing. And that's why I started the vlog. But it also, like, that's why I'm like excited to have an interview, because it's like, I be having stuff to say. So I think my favorite, one of my favorite questions that that one of the editors had asked me was, you know, are there any movies that you consider formative? And so like, I'm such a big movie person. Like, my day job, like I'm a writer, particularly like a copywriter, screenwriter. I taught myself screenwriting because I just love movies so much. So I've also watched every single movie. Like, if you'd love to chat about that, I'd love to as well. But I bring that question up because it kind of relates to this piece and the things that I've been working on. But I also just want to say, like, what a fucking year. You know what I mean? Like, I would have never expected like this to like, this was not on my bingo card. And so like this, and then the New American Paintings feature, like in 1 year, I just think like, I'm so grateful and I'm so excited, because it's like, I feel like I'm working hard in terms of like getting better at painting, but like I don't feel like I worked hard to get this, but it just like, it's just a byproduct. And so it makes me really, really excited and happy. And this is like physical, and I love physical things. So back on the topic of movies, so I've always been like painting like movie scenes that I like love so much. And so I was in New York a couple months ago, and I painted this scene that I love. I'll pop it in, from Crooklyn, one of my favorite movies. And so they asked me what movies are like the most formative, like Crooklyn. I said The Wood, and then I said Lady Bird. But you know, because of the genre is like coming of age, and like it's also like the location is kind of this main character in the film, and that's just something that like, I don't know, I'm realizing now I've always wanted to do. I've always been so attracted to it. And like, even in the interview, I say I'm so obsessed almost with like girlhood and things like that. So it's just like, anyway, so I had this painting, and I was showing a friend, coworker of mine, the painting. And I was like, this is a scene from Crooklyn. It's such a cute scene. She's like laying on the bed with her dog. It's cute, but it's like sad because I think her mom just passed. But she's eating out of a box of Trix cereal, which is just so like iconic in terms of like branding. And then like just being a girl, like watching TV on the bed, her socks were just like tube socks. It was just so cute. And I love like taking snapshots of film because they're already perfectly composed, like if it's, you know, if it's a movie that is good. And so a lot of Spike Lee films have very like really interesting compositions. So anyway, I showed it to him. He was like, oh, that would be cool, because like I work in branding and advertising. I feel like we think in a certain way. So my friend was automatically like, oh, that would be cool if it's like the 20th, 30th anniversary of the movie, and you did the artwork for it, and you made a t-shirt. And I instantly was just like, I'm so fucking tired of making t-shirts. I'm not tired of making t-shirts, but I want to just like, in that moment, I had just been over it and wanted to expand to something more like, just more. And so, but when he said that, it something clicked in my head, because it's just like I wasn't thinking about going any further with these scenes. Like I had painted a scene from Eve's Bayou before that one that I loved, and they connect too in terms of like girlhood, coming of age, sentimentality, all that. And I kind of just left it there. So I was thinking like I had created this poster. This is such a long I'm trying to make this short so I can get to the painting, but I had created this poster like four years ago, maybe 5, of this poster work, and it was like 101 Black women to read before you die. And I was like, oh my God. And I've been wanting to do a series, like just in terms of my artwork and just being able to like create, you know, pieces that were like, even though all my work kind of surrounds these themes, I wanted to be really intentional with a series. So I was like, oh, I'm gonna do 101 scenes, Black female. I haven't got the title yet. I feel like we'll get there. But like right now, I'm just calling it Black female lead series. And it's just like 101 is just this number, like this, you know, this eye-catching, grabbing, you know, people use it in books and stuff like that. So I started that. And I think that I'm crazy because I just be like, that's a good idea, and I just start. So it's like I had started, I think it was like Halloween, like October 31st. And I still just like, so I loved it because I was going to do the scenes on these tiny, let me show you, 6x6 canvases this size. And I was like, oh, okay, well, that's perfect. I can do like, I can knock out a couple a day. Why do I have to do so many things? Like I really wanted to like get a big dent in before the end of the year, and I did, but it's just like I'm at 25 right now, and I think like it just is so nice. I think they take about 2 hours. The looser I get, the quicker I can get down to like an hour and a half. And so like that's really nice. But it's just like even getting it every day, there's no barrier of entry for me because I know it's a quick thing, it's low stakes, it's not about the one piece, it's about the kind of bigger series. So it's just like no pressure whatsoever. And so I'm just knocking out a fucking painting a day. It's crazy. And so I'll show you a couple of those, but that led to this bigger piece. And so but once I got to 25, I was like, wait, this is crazy because I just don't be thinking that much. But like once I got to 25, I'm like, I did 25 paintings within this span of time, like, and I didn't think nothing of it. And so it's just like I didn't want to like get to 100 and clock that, you know what I mean? I'm just like, I don't feel like I'm ambitious, but I'm just like obsessive. And so the more and more I'm like, fine, because I have so many I'll show you this picture. I screenshotted all the screenshots I have in my phone from over the years of just scenes that I love. I could be on a plane, I could be in my living room, and I'm just like, gorgeous, you know what I mean? So I had those, but it's also fun to find more. And now it's just becoming this whole thing where it's just like, I just love like even the idea of like movie posters or these just iconic scenes. Like think of The Shining and Jack Nicholson's like fucking eye is poking through this thing and the lady next to it is like, it's just like forever imprinted in your brain. And it's just like, I have so many of those that are specifically around Black women, in particular like genres of film. So anyway, this is like crazy, but this is like hello, 25, yeah, 25, but we gonna try to get to 100, yeah. But I'm gonna show you some of my favorites, and then I'll get to the bedroom critique. I don't know if I'm losing light, I don't even know what that means, but look. So I'll start with my favorite one. Speaking of Crooklyn, how cutie pie. Again, even though it's like a sad moment, but it's just like I loved the chairs she was sitting in. I love doing Spike Lee movies because he has really great colors, and it really is like set in that time and that place. So it's just like the brown leather chair, her pink balls or dress, like so good. So it's just like after I'm done, I'll write the title, the year it came out, what number it is. Like this is number 16 in the series. So it's like, I'm crazy. Like I'm really gonna do 101 of these, but like this is another one. I just did this a couple of days ago. This one's Eve's Bayou. This is Megan Gibb. She's in the car. But it's like the thing that's fun too and challenging is like finding the scene that not is just my favorite scene, excuse me, but that like compositionally is like really good, has some sort of like interest. I'm noticing a lot of like scenes where women are holding cigarettes, and it's just like, I love that. It's just so classic movie, but like not classic movie in a sense that you always see a white guy holding a cigarette, and that's classic. So I love the kind of like flip on its head with showing a lot of Black women holding, you know, like this is from Belly. I'm just getting like, it's just fun. It's just like, some scenes are the typical scenes you would think of from that movie, like this is Waiting to Excel. And I love it, so tiny. It's just like a miniature like snapshot. I feel like that's what all my paintings are. Like I'm not telling a long story, I'm giving you a snapshot. Can you, whatever. So yeah, so let me see if I have, oh, this is this one, I love this one. This is from Sister Act 2, Back and They Have It. This is Lauryn Hill and she's performing. So it's just like, I love movies. Like I really, really love movies. So it just feels so fun to like either watch a movie again or like find a certain scene in my phone and then like reimagine that. This one came out so gorgeous. This is Brown Sugar, Sanaya Lathan. But it's just these scenes that are just like, have always been so gorgeous to me that I didn't really know what to do with. This is Sylvie's Love. So anyway, that's that. And so it's just like, oh, this was my favorite. Sorry, this is the last one. This one's Love and Basketball. I'm kitty. So yeah, so that led to me like, but when I'm painting, I'm also watching movies. So I was watching The Wood. And there's this one scene that I've always loved, but just seeing it on my TV screen, and it was so punched in, it was so good. And it's the scene after they're at like lunch or recess or whatever, and he touches her butt and she's like, oh, and I will tell my brother. And so they get back in class and he's like, maybe she forgot about it. He turns around, she smiles, and then she's like, I'm gonna kill you. So that scene was so good. So I basically was like, oh, I love that. And the reason I loved it is because it was so tight. It was so like, you know, my TV is, your TV's a rectangle, essentially. And so seeing that negative space around her, but then seeing the gesture of like her holding that pencil and how like big her eyes were, it just felt like a movie poster, but it also felt like a billboard. And that made me think of like one of my favorite artists, Alex Katz. And he, you know, like he got his inspiration from TV and billboards, and that is how he created these like portraits that were like massive in size. And no one was really doing that, especially during his time. Everyone was kind of like in this abstract world. And so like representational or figurative painting wasn't even like, they said it was dead. And so for him to kind of be like, it's not dead, and it's about to like, I'm about to create it in a way where it has as much impact as this crazy abstract painting next to me. It's going to be able to hold its own weight. I will just show you the book that I have. That it's a fucking gorgeous book. First of all, this is Alex Katz. This is just the case. So good. But you see, even like you're seeing the aspect ratio of how it's always like that. So it's just like, and I have so many things like I feel like this and Carrie James Marshall are just books that I have like a lot of like that I reference a lot, but it's just getting those really tight shots. And so that's what really attracted me as well to this particular scene in the movie. Like he's just like always really tight, cropped in. It's just so good. I'm not gonna go through this whole book. This is my top favorite Alex Katz painting. This one's my favorite one. But anyway, so that mixed with all these other stuff was the reason why I decided to do this painting. And so let's do a reveal. Oh, and I will tell my brother. Okay, this is the final piece. It's just, it's insane. It's big. I think it's like one of the first like portraits I've done in this aspect ratio versus the portrait. And so I think that's what's really so like, I don't want to say revolutionary, that's a big word, but that's really so distinct about doing portraits in this way, is that portraits are supposed to be the other way. Like there's literally a name for that aspect ratio. So doing it in this way is like, it's very striking, it's very punched in, and it's just like it's so insane. And so it's just like, I've always loved this scene, and like getting to paint it like this huge was like my favorite. I feel like, okay, let's see. Let me show you the size. I'm 5'10". Anyway, like this is the size. It's so, yeah, it's pretty big. And like, imagine when I'm able to get bigger. Big is really hard for me. Like this was really hard, but I'm really satisfied with how it came out. Just the painterliness of it. And like I'll do some tight shots, but the green, I was trying to do this like chalkboard-esque thing while also kind of like showing the paint. And so I'm not a hyper realistic painter. Like I'm someone that really likes paint and really wants you to see the kind of like materiality of the paint. So it's just like, I love getting drips, like I love thickness, I love like irregularities. And so just like her top, that side over there, I did this like door in the background with this doorknob, but it was just so like there. And I just watched this video of Ian Roberts, like one of my favorite teachers, but he was just talking about edges and like that really can make or break a painting. And so it's just like, the white was so stark white up against her, but as soon as I added in my blue, it's just like the edges kind of started to blend and it just looks so much better. So I was just like, well, let me just paint over it. But then I'm like, I want to still see it though. So it's really like a cool way to just kind of like glaze over it with the blue and like getting it really watery and wet so you can still see the doorknob, you know, but it's not like, hey, I'm in a classroom. Because I even like, I'll show you a picture of an earlier rendition. I even kind of was gonna do a desk here, like, and just being very literal. So it's just like, I love it. I loved trying that, but it's just like, I keep coming back to this fucking blue. I love this blue, but I also just keep like coming back to like less. So that's just like a big lesson for me, because I just feel like, no, I need to show you that like I can draw and I can do all these things that I just learned, but it just don't be working. Like what works is like the things that I'm really, really attracted to. Like even something as small as this like white line, I love it because first of all, I love stripes, and then I love this kind of like delineation in colors, and just like even the kind of like the texture in the white. It's not a straight perfect white, and you'll even see this I'm really realizing like in a painting I'm into a horizontal line in terms of like the landscape. So even in my last painting of the two girls in the car, there's this horizontal line, which is a street paint sign, like, you know, where the car goes into. But it's just something so satisfying about it. And I even heard that like horizontal lines do represent like calmness, but I think it's also like a break in like this like, if you think about a landscape. So I think it's like this break in the colors is really satisfying for me. So it's just these like simple things that make me happy. So I really like the color I got on her. I'm gonna bring it up closer. I wonder if I should just do it now, but it's like some really good browns. The pencil, I love the pencil. The shirt, let me bring it up close. Let's just do this thing. Like this brown, I love this. I love like a orangey reddish brown. I think it first of all complements the blue so well. It just pops, but then it's just like, it's so striking. And I love like my underpainting kind of breaking through. And speaking of the like 25 paintings I've been doing, I've just been trying out different colors of underpainting on them. So it's just very low stakes, but it's something I get to keep like trying and trying every day. And so I've realized I love like a purple underpainting, and I love like a I don't know if I could say this word, alizarin crimson red. It's almost pinky, if you can see it here. I love that shit. It's giving Henry Taylor, watch out. It's giving he's been quiet for a while. But yeah, I just love paint. I love painting. So this is what I'm saying with the kind of texture and the stripe. The shirt, we got some drips on the shirt. Got that drip. I love the pencil. The pencil is like pure perfection to me. The balls I added in. I'm really getting into these like clacker balls. They're really cute. Yeah, man, like it just was hard. And I'll get into like what was hard and what I would change, but I'm really happy with this. Like really happy. I think it's sick. But this is like just creating this green that's like chalky was a little bit hard because I didn't want, like you would think like, oh, just add white, but that makes it like a very soft pastel green. So getting that perfect balance to make it a chalky green, that was really satisfying. And I think a lot of it has to do with just like getting that darker green underneath and letting that pop. You can even see this purple underpainting on her outline here. Like, it's just the little things that keep me, I forgot the song. So yeah, that's my gal. And so the name of this painting is, so it's from the movie The Wood, 1999. We old, y'all. Y'all like, don't put me in this. But so I called it The Wood is Mightier Than the Sword. So that's the title of this. I love the eyes. I love that it's striking. I'm just really happy with it. Here are some things that I am not so happy with. So basically, like what I was talking about earlier about school is really getting these fundamentals down. So like a small thing, and it doesn't make or break things for me. It just is something I want to do better. Like this ear, if you know about anatomy, the ear should be probably like between, like your ears between, it's kind of like between your mouth, under your eyes, and you see how her ear is down here. Some people would argue like it's giving Picasso, like it's giving Cubism, and I'm like, thanks, I didn't mean to though. So it's like it's a push and pull of like what is your style versus like where is your block. And so this next semester I'll be taking a life drawing class, and it's just like, it's not to like get rid of like my kind of hand, but more so to like enhance it and do things on purpose and like be able to convey what I want to convey. And so it's like I'm still able to convey what I want to convey here. So it's not like I said, it's not the end of the world, but it just wasn't intentional. You know what I mean? It's just like something that like someone pointed out to me. And again, it's like I could be like, well, you get what it is, or you know, like, or it could be just like, that's not the point. But like for me, it just is like, I just want things to be how I want them to be. It really has nothing to do with anybody else. And so it's like, if someone could point that out to me, I think that's a plus. Another thing that is just like, I feel like proportion wise, her head's a little big, and it's hard for me because she's like, she's back and she's turning. So it is a real, I don't like it kind of, it is a really weird angle to try to portray, because you have to understand that like, and I think you get a lot of it in her necklines, but it's, you know, you would need to see something here and her arm coming over. And so it's just like, I think I did as good as I can do, but I think there are concepts, like I know one concept in terms of like foreshortening, I could really benefit from. So it's just this idea of just like the hand in relationship to like how far the arm's going back to the size of her head is a bit off for me. So it's not like as striking as I see the image, but it's still striking. But just imagine I get really good at that, and then to get it like get a bigger piece, it just would be like insane. So I also feel like I would have wanted to have like less of her shirt, like cutting it to maybe like here, and that way maybe punching in on her more. And so her face is taking up most of the canvas. And so like when I'm drawing, I'm just kind of freehanding. I'm not thinking too much, but I think like what I do want to get better at is like thinking a little bit more when I'm sketching, and just like getting things in their right place. But I'd be really thirsty to start painting. Like drawing is so, I'm starting to like it more because I took a drawing class earlier this year. So I feel like there are certain things that are easier for me to do, and it's not so daunting when I'm drawing. But it's still like, can we get, so we can get to the kissing and the hugging? Like, I just want to paint. So I think like I could definitely work on my patience in terms of like getting things, just, and not everything, just getting certain things in the right place, like her fucking ear and how much I want her face. I'll literally do the drawing and like I never update the drawing. The drawing is a drawing, and I'm like, oh, I'll fix it in post. No, I'll fix it when I paint, but I don't, because I'm no longer focused on that part. So that's a big lesson for me, is to just like do it then, because so you don't have to worry about it later. So all in all, I would give this painting out of 10. I'm a tough critic. I would give this painting a dang, I'm not even gonna give a number, but 8.5. I was gonna say 7.5, but then I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, why are you being hard on yourself? It's not a test. But yeah, I love it. I love, like, I got so many freaking colors in here. It's crazy, like so many browns. I did struggle again with the highlighting, but I think I learned a new thing from my buddy at Blake at the art store. I was telling him like, it's hard for me because I have these kind of like harsh cutoffs. I'm not blending. That like when I want to get some light, but the light be like stark white, but I don't want it. I want it to like relay that like shift in value, but I don't want it to be white. And so he put me on this color. He's like, the titanium white they use is like so opaque. And so he put me on to this It's like kind of like an off-white, but it has a little warmness in it. It's still titanium, but it's a word for it. I'm gonna pop it in. It's like a not a he showed me a buff white, and I like that, but I like this particular white because it had warmth in it, and that's what I need because I'm painting black people, and that's what the issue I have with the white is that it's not becoming brighter, it's becoming whiter. So I think yellow helps with that too, but it's just something about trying to paint the light on black skin that I really want to like get down because I'm like, even though I'm happy to where I got here, it took so long. So I'm gonna be trying that out, but I think that's the end of the episode. Oh, I want to show you another thing I painted. I painted on another purse. This is like a Josephine Baker. Oh, this looks so cute in the camera. I got this little like fake Louis V from the flea market, and then I did this painting on it. I'm just trying to catch y'all up. This is like an end of year episode. But yeah, I feel like I had a really good year. School, 2 magazine features, 8,000 paintings. Like, I've just literally like, man, I really want to know how many days out of this year I painted because it's probably like 80%, 85%. Like, I'm just getting so, it's becoming like habitual. So thank you for watching. If you watched any episodes, if you left any comments or anything, I'm really grateful because I just like decided to do this on a whim, and it's been like also a bit creatively fulfilling, and like I really just like finishing things and achieving things. So thank you again, and have a great holiday and happy new year. And I'll probably still be painting. I'm thinking about taking some time off. I don't know why. I think because I just finished this big painting. I think I'm gonna still be doing my little series paintings. But if you want to follow that, my Instagram, I'll put it in the I don't be using this thing description box. And so my Instagram is Kyndacee, but I'm never on there. I'm usually on this little diary account I have where I get to just kind of throw up whatever. So, and that's Sentiment Studios, Sentiment SNTMNT.studios. That's over on Instagram. So it's like, if you like art, it's fun. If you like people and socializing, you're not gonna get any of that. So thank you again. Happy New Year and peace out. Cheers. Okay, let's do it.